And I'm first of all, I'm happy to be on your show, T, because I think you do a
Thank you.
tremendous job in your work. I think you're consistently good at what you do, and you just give that laid back vibe where all kind of fans from all perspectives can come on and relate to you. So I appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I don't even know how to take that, but I'm gonna take it.
Definitely a compliment.
Thank you for sure. Thank you. I admire you. I thank you guys for adding me on to the network. It's been a blast learning new stuff and still learning and growing with this content with Buffalo because we have a lot. We have a
Mhm.
lot on our network that is amazing episodes and content creators over there. So I appreciate you guys adding me for sure.
We definitely
Started.
appreciate. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool, cool. Not to because it's probably a little delay. So and that's why I hate. I love person to person. I love
Yeah.
the fact that me and Mike can sit next to each other
Yep.
and speak about whatever.
Yep.
Our interaction is what makes the show. So that's
Definitely.
why I love live stuff. But yeah, let's get into it then.
Mhm.
I send you some stuff over early in the week,
Mhm.
and we're just gonna jump right into it. So some decision needs to be made with Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes. Are you ready to let them walk, let them go, let the team just move on from them?
And those are excellent questions, right? When we look at Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes, those are the veterans on the defensive line for the Buffalo Bills. They're the older guys. They're the guys that give the young guys some perspective in terms of how to grow and develop their own game. But at the same time, I do think that both of the players are a little past their primes, right? I think personally Jerry Hughes still has a lot to offer. I think he has a bit more to offer than a Mario Addison. So if the money is right and if he's willing to take a certain type of contract, I definitely think that Jerry Hughes deserves to be re-signed because even in the last game against the Kansas City Chiefs, he was the one guy that you seen jumping off the screen on the defensive line in terms of adding pressure and trying to get to Patrick Mahomes, even though he didn't get there all the time, but he was still uh adding tons of pressure. So if we can find a way to add Jerry Hughes on in a reasonable contract, I definitely think the Buffalo Bills should do so. Mario Addison, I'm not sure if I feel the same way about him as I do Jerry Hughes. I think we have guys like Gregory Rousseau and Carlos Basham and AJ Epinesa that deserves to get some playing time as well. I don't want to stunt the growth of our young defensive linemen by having our older guys or a bunch of older guys that may be past their prime playing. So I do think that Jerry Hughes has a space on this team, but I also think that the young defensive guys deserve the playing time and continue their development as well.
Absolutely, I agree. I think if Jerry a year, 1 year, like you said,
Hmm.
and have Addison walk, I
Hmm.
think Epinesa and Russo was doing great the first few games, and then
Hmm.
they hit that. Well, I know Russo hit that rookie wall,
Hmm.
and from then on, it was like he was done. You know what I mean? And not
Hmm.
maybe done to where he wasn't working hard. I just thought that maybe teams knew now what to concentrate
Hmm.
on him, and he had maybe like two moves, and they use it often. You know,
Hmm.
B Basham I think only had one great move was it, and he was just bull rushing. You know,
Hmm.
so I think 1 year underneath their belt, I think they'll be fine. But yeah,
Hmm.
move on from Mario Edson. Even though he led the team in sacks, 7 sacks,
Right.
but the pressure was Jerry. Jerry got to the
Yep.
quarterback. So yeah, for sure. And I think that goes into the my question B is can we say that Mario, not Mario, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Jay Epinesa and Boogie Basham are ready to step up, and Groot is ready to step up. Can we say that now? Are we ready for them?
I I think so. I think so, right? Because these are not players that are, fifth and sixth round picks. AJ Epinesa is a second round pick, 54 overall. Carlos Basham is a second round pick. Groot, Gregory Rousseau is a first round pick. So I think because of where they were selected in the draft, I think there are players that are supposed to make impacts based on where they was drafted, and the only way they can make this impact if you give them a chance to play. So I definitely think that these guys, especially Gregory Rousseau, right? I believe that him especially deserved to continue his development in playing, because I think he was 100% correct. He did hit his rookie wall for the Buffalo Bills his rookie season, and his rookie wall was not like other rookie walls, right? We're talking about a guy that came in for the Buffalo Bills as a first round pick and didn't play at all the season before
Right.
due to
Right.
COVID. And then he only had 1 year of college eligibility with the Miami Hurricanes the year he did play. So I think his rookie wall was a lot steeper than usual. And I think he'll get over that, being that he has a season under his belt. And I think he's going to continue to develop in a good way. And I think the other players in Carlos Basham and AJ Epinesa will do so as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for Rousseau. I just think that he can be that next. Not comparing him to Bruce, but I think
Mm-hmm.
he can be a type of player that can demand that oh my God, that respect, I guess, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word. I think
Yeah.
he can dominate a game once he gets those reps and stuff. I think he
Yep.
can be that player, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this question was not asked before, or I can write this question down. Now,
Mm-hmm.
do you think in the draft we should go after, and I'm skipping, another defensive end?
Um, I me personally, I don't think so. Right? I think that, yeah, now you never know what can happen. Obviously, we're not the experts. We're not in the Buffalo Bills war
Right.
room. We're not Brandon Beane or Sean McDermott. So we don't know for sure. But if I'm just thinking in hindsight, I'm saying to myself, Gregory Rousseau is a young player that still has to develop. So does Carlos Basham. So does AJ Epinesa. I think Ed Oliver still has some growing and development still.
Mhm.
I don't think he's reached his maximum potential. So I think the Buffalo Bills have a lot of guys on that defensive front that still has to grow and develop in their own right. So I'm not sure if bringing in another guy that may have to go through that same transition should be implemented along the Buffalo Bills defensive front. Now, if you want to go out there and get obviously proven and obvious dominant type defensive end, then that may be different, right? If you want to go
Right.
out and get someone like a Chandler Jones that is a guy that can command attention, like you speak of Groot, right? I think Groot can
Mhm.
definitely be a guy that opposing offenses could say in the future, like, hey, we got to really plan around this guy and really make sure we know where this guy is on each and every play. If the Buffalo Bills can get somebody that garners that attention, I think that they should take that route. But I'm not sure if they should take the route in developing another defensive lineman.
Right. Yeah. Because there's a lot of little speculations and rumors that Brandon
Mm-hmm.
Beane's going to do this big trade like he did with the Diggs and stuff like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
off season is off season, and people
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
even opposed to him doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but is it going to stunt, like you say, stunt the growth of a Mario? I mean, AJ Epinesa, the Boogie Basham, or Groot? I mean, we were one play away
Mm-hmm.
from being, in the Super Bowl, or everybody's saying,
Mm-hmm.
but even though we were, coaching, whatever happened, whatever the case may be, everybody gonna have their own opinions. I
Mm-hmm.
still feel even if we made it, we still needed an extra person, an extra player to
Mm-hmm.
put us in that position to say, "Oh, we can run that back." Because with
Mm-hmm.
the with players we had this year, we had plays where we're like, we just won because we put a lot of points on the board. You're not looking
Mm-hmm.
at mistakes, because
Mm-hmm.
when you win, you don't look at the mistakes that were there. You
Mm-hmm.
just think of the W, that win. You know what I mean? So I
Yep.
wouldn't be opposed to, even if we did win, we would have that question of we still need someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I think Brandon Bean, I think he realizes that, and that's why he goes into the direction he goes in terms of constructing a roster and a constructing of team. The Los Angeles Rams, we know that they're Super Bowl champs, but we know
Hmm.
that they spent a lot and they mortgaged a lot of future to get to the point where they're at today. And Brandon Bean is not willing to do that. He
Yeah,
wants to
he
be
said
able to,
that too.
yep, he wants to be able to sign and develop his guys, and because of the guys that he developed, take us to the levels we need to go in terms of hoisting the Lombardi trophy. And he still wants to sustain that success to continue to be good in the future as well. And I think that is
Yeah.
the direction Brandon Bean wants to take.
And not to bring up, a rivalry, whatever. It's like the Patriots they did for a
Hmm.
long period of time. They want to
Hmm.
sustain that success. I mean, now
Yes.
they're on a downward, trying to regroup, whatever. But yeah, you want to be something like that. I know we hate the Patriots and stuff like that, but you look at that franchise and you're just like, that's where we kind of want to be, you know?
Hmm.
So
Definitely.
we can move on. Yeah, for sure. So we have concerns with the quarterback. Trey White's down his injury. We don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. They stated that he's been in the building rehabbing all this time that the Bills are playing in the off season as well now.
Hmm.
Being that we have the number one training facility, training staff, do you have any concerns with Trey coming back?
Uh no. I don't have any concerns with Trey coming back because, like you just said, like you just alluded to, the Buffalo Bills have the number one training facility. They have a great medical staff. They've done a great job in terms of keeping players healthy for the most part. And this is not 20 years ago where an ACL injury can potentially ruin your career. Like it
Hmm.
did maybe Eddie George in the past when he had a knee injury, and the medicines and the medical facilities wasn't the same. I think we're in 2022, and these ACL injuries are significant injuries, but these are injuries that players can overcome in today's world. And I think Trey White will be fine. But I also think, don't get me wrong, I do think players play better the second year removed away from a significant injury as opposed to the first. So even though Trey White, I think he's going to come back healthy and do a good job. I think this year would be the test in terms of him trusting his knee and getting back to his normal self and being confident and being able to make those cuts and change the direction things. And the year after that, I think he'll catapult himself into a better corner than we'll actually see this year. Dear T. Okay, okay, we're gonna wait for T to come back. But yeah, I think Trey White is a cornerback that's one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. I think he is going to continue to be a top cornerback in this NFL, and players overcome injuries. They have to overcome adversity at times, and Trey White is no different in terms of overcoming or trying to overcome adversity. We've seen Harrison Phillips a couple of years ago tore his ACL, right? He had some knee damage and he came back the year after, and Harrison Phillips wasn't what he was last year, right? Harrison Phillips was trying to come back. He was trying to come back and get his footing. And Harrison Phillips played a lot
Right.
better his second season after the injury as opposed to his first. Glad to have you back, T.
Absolutely. Ah, man. Listen, I don't know. I'm telling you, this is why I hate. I hate computers. I hate
I
all
know,
this stuff.
I
This is
know, I
crazy,
know,
man. It's just so
I know,
crazy.
I
What
know.
happened today? I had done this, like I said, this is my second time doing this. The first
Hmm.
time, nothing peachy, whatever.
Hmm.
Today, I don't even know what's going on. I'm not even
Right.
connected to the Wi-Fi at my house. I'm doing something
Mm,
else because last time it just, yeah.
okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, but that being said, so do you think other players that sometimes are, injury prone
Mhm.
and want and Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott is looking at these players that maybe injury
Mhm,
prone.
mhm.
Do you think that they would take that chance on this player who has injuries and bring him into the facility because of our training staff?
I think so. I think the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Bean and the organization are willing to take chances like that. But I think the contract would have to
Mhm.
make sense, right? I think the contract would have to make sense in
Right.
terms of benefiting the organization and the player still wants to be happy. I don't think the Brandon Bean will overpay for a guy that has potentials or have a history of being injured often. So I think he would try to navigate the contract where the player can be healthy, happy, and it will be an advantage to the organization as well. But I don't think Brandon Bean was shy away from injury history.
Okay, good,
Hmm.
good, good. Yeah, I believe that as well. So Levi Wallace is up to make some big bucks this off season. Are you,
Yep.
as a fan, and you think that Brandon Bean, are they willing to just have Levi just walk, or do you pay him what he wants? Because he's averaging what, 18? Supposed to be something like that.
I, I I think his number is pretty significant this year in terms of if you look at spot track and you look at his market value. I think his number is pretty significant. I think Brandon Bean is going to let Levi Wallace test the market. I think that'll be his first approach, letting Levi test the market to see what type of number he actually commands,
Hmm.
as opposed to what a computer is predicting for the player. And I think they would take that process from there because because of Trey White's injury, I don't think the Bills need one corner. I think they need a couple corners. I think they need at
Yeah,
least two cornerbacks just because of his injury. You don't want to rush Trey White back. You don't want to put that added pressure on him to think he has to be the guy that he was before he left. And I think it would add depth for the Buffalo Bills as a team, just in case Trey White is still overcoming his some issues from the injury. So the Bills probably want Levi Wallace back, but they have to be smart in terms of mortgaging and managing their cap space because they don't have a lot of it. And I think the
right.
Buffalo Bills will do whatever they have to do to get that depth to help the secondary and to not rush a Trey White back. So I think Levi may test the market.
I think he'll test it too. It's just like
Mhm.
Matt Milano.
Yep.
Matt Milano probably also too
Hmm.
test the market and see his value and was like, you know what, I want to stay. But also
Hmm.
too, some of these guys like Saran Neal just got his deal,
Hmm.
and he wanted to stay because of family. I
Yeah.
mean, family oriented, football, whatever, but his teammates and all that. But I wouldn't be opposed if they let Levi walk. I mean, I
Hmm.
was and still am a Levi Wallace fan. I love
Hmm.
the fact that he was a walk on, and
Hmm.
he just has that dog mentality. But
Hmm.
I mean, everybody's, wants the payday. And if he feels that he needs that payday, go get that payday. But
Hmm.
yeah, I wouldn't be opposed of him walking. Because we have Dane Jackson, not saying that Dane Jackson is anywhere. I think Levi has a step up from
Hmm.
Dane Jackson. So I wouldn't be
Yep.
opposed if he walks.
Right.
Um,
Like.
if you could pick one player on the
Hmm.
offensive defense, who would you pick and why?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Right. I think the Buffalo Bills offensively, I think they would be able to put up enough points to win games. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that other players or elite players wouldn't help catapult the offense, but even in
Mhm.
last year's game, the Buffalo Bills put up 36 points, I believe. So
Yeah.
I think the offense, will be fine. The defense, I think they had sacks. I think they was in the top 10 in sacks, but it was more of a team oriented thing. I think that was because of scheme and our defensive coaching staff, which I didn't think they did a good job in the last 13 seconds. But I think
Ooh,
overall, I think overall throughout the season, I think Leslie Frazier and that staff did a good job in terms of scheme and playing team defense. So I would go on the defensive side of the ball, and I would say a guy like Miles Garrett, right?
who?
Miles Garrett, first of all, I choose, there's other guys out there, TJ Watt and things like that, but I choose Miles Garrett because he plays in the same defensive scheme as the Buffalo Bills already. Cleveland Browns
Okay.
play a Cleveland Browns play a 4-3 defense. The
Mhm.
Buffalo Bills play a 4-3 defense. So it's a seamless transition, right? 16 sacks last season, 58 and a half sacks over his course of his career, and he's only 26 years old. And just like you said about Groot earlier in the show, I think we need a guy that commands that attention. I think we have to get a guy that offensive coordinators are going to get headaches trying to scheme around throughout the week. And I think
Mhm.
Miles Garrett definitely fits that bill. He's a guy that you don't have to get creative within the scheme to get a sack. He's a guy that can generate sacks for you just playing head up one-on-one football. And I think that is what the Buffalo Bills need. So I will go ahead and say Miles Garrett.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one because Miles Garrett is outside of my players with Buffalo Bills. Miles Garrett is him and Aaron Donald are the two
Yep.
players that I look at. I
Hmm.
mean, they're just freaks of nature. They're
Yeah.
just freaks. And we don't, and I was talking to Mike and I was just like, we just need that one defensive player to make that splash player to do something to where if we need that stop, go to
Hmm.
that player. Like they did, like the Rams did in the Super Bowl. The coach
Yes.
went to him and said, we need you to make a play, Aaron. And he
Yep.
did. He made two, but you know what I mean? Somebody like
Yep.
that. I mean, we don't have it. No disrespect to the Bills or nothing like that. We don't
Hmm.
have that player on there yet. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that Oliver might be this year. He might step up and be that player. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But as of right now, we don't have that. We haven't seen it anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
And see, I agree with you 100%. 100%.
yeah. Okay. So, oh my God. So we've heard
Hmm.
that Sanders wants to stay, makes a decision because of his family. But he also said if he does come back, he wants to come back with the Bills. So my question to you, are you ready for Gabe Davis to step up? And can
I,
he, you think?
now, I think so. I think Gabriel Davis is ready to take that next step and be the number two wide receiver on the opposite side of Stephon Diggs. What he did against the Kansas City Chiefs in the biggest game of the Buffalo Bills career, his career was insane. 8 receptions,
Mhm.
200 yards, 4 touchdowns, and it was the way he was doing it. He was
Yeah.
continuously getting open. He made a guy fall because the route he ran was such a beautiful route.
Beautiful
and
route, man.
Beaut
Whew.
and man, and I think Gabriel Davis, because of that, I think he's shown that he's definitely ready to take that next step. And there's no disrespect to Emmanuel Sanders, 42 receptions,
Mhm.
626 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he had good moments throughout the season with the Buffalo Bills, but at the same time, I think it's Gabriel Davis' time to hold and claim that number two wide receiver spot for the Bills.
So you're fine with him stepping up. You're the Bills, if the Bills go and get
Mhm.
somebody in free agency or draft. So I guess my only concern is because it came out that Sanders said he hit a wall because of his best friend passed. Um,
Mhm.
and then he was injured.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm on a I'm on the fence when it comes to Gabriel Davis,
Mm.
because I know he can be that guy, but he was going against what third and fourth,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, string
So if
receiver,
you're gonna
corner.
be right, so if you're gonna
Mhm.
be two, my only concern, are you ready? And like
Mhm.
you said, we did see in Kansas City that he can be that guy.
Mhm.
That's my only concern is now you're two, you're not three and four. Now
Mhm.
you're kind of the man now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Most
do
definitely.
you think
So
they still going? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, you're good, T. So now, and though that's great analysis and great concerns because you're absolutely right. But I would ask you, what's your thoughts on a Cole Beasley now? What's your thoughts on the slot wide receiver position? Is that a position that can possibly find another impact player or another depth piece because Cole Beasley's possibly getting older and Isaiah McKenzie is a free agent. Can the Buffalo Bills still try to improve the offense, but just go in a different direction, and that direction being the slot receiver? I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
See, I'm good with Cole Beasley coming back, and
Hmm.
if they let go of Isaiah McKenzie, fine. You know what I mean? Because I've heard in some podcasts and episodes with him being all
Hmm.
right with just going. So, but I think they do need another receiver, slot receiver. Fine, I'm good with that. It was seen that Josh was with what's the guy's name?
Christian Kirk.
Yes. Are you good
Mhm.
with Christian Kirk coming?
If the price is right,
Hmm.
it's all about the
It's
money
all
with the
about the
Buffalo
money.
Bills. Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Because they
It's all
don't
about
have a
the money.
lot.
Right,
They don't
right.
have a lot. So,
And Christian Kirk is a young guy. I believe he's only 25 years old.
wow.
He's going into his second contract. And usually guys going into their second contract, especially being that young, they're
You want
going
to
to
get
want to
paid.
they're going to want to get paid because
Hmm.
football is a combat sport and you don't know when your last that could be your last play. So I think he's going to want to get
Absolutely.
paid.
There's another, it's rumors off season. The
Hmm.
guy from the Raiders, Renfro,
Hunter
what's his
Renfro,
name?
yes.
Yes, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Not at
I would
all.
not be
Not at
mad
all.
at that. And
Not at
again,
all.
Cole Beasley, I like Cole Beasley. I think
Hmm.
when it comes to money wise, are you going to structure that contract? It's just like
Hmm.
everybody on the offensive line. What are we
Hmm.
doing there? We got to restructure some contracts and let some guys go. So,
Hmm.
you know,
Absolutely
but,
right. And I
but
and
for
I
sure.
actually think Hunter Renfro is a younger, bigger Cole Beasley. I
Hmm.
think they have the same game in terms of how he gets open. He runs excellent routes. He's great in the short and intermediate game. He is, in my opinion, a Cole Beasley clone. So I'm glad you brought him up because I really like Hunter Renfro from the
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders. Hmm.
Yeah, me too. I do. I some games when was watching the Raiders, he's really shifty.
Yep.
He can get open. He can really get open. And you know what? Cole Beasley had a down year. We're gonna call it like it is. He had a down year. He only had one touchdown.
Hmm. Yep. He did only have one touchdown, and I believe he had similar amount of receptions that he did last year, and he had a few hundred less yards. We don't know if it's because of his distance and target. We don't know if it's because the lack of yards per catch and him being able to break tackles and create space after the catch. But Cole Beasley did have a down year, so to speak, especially if we're comparing 2021 Cole Beasley to 2020 Cole Beasley, right? Because 2020 Cole Beasley was a second team all pro. And the things he was able to accomplish in 2020 with Josh Allen was, in my opinion, tremendous in terms of what he was able to do and being that security blanket for Josh Allen and being that scapegoat for Josh Allen when Josh Allen needed a receiver to make a play on third down in shorts, or second down in intermediate, or fourth down in shorts. I think Cole Beasley was that security blanket and still is the security blanket for a Josh Allen or a young receiver uh, that can be beneficial to a quarterback in the future. So yes, Cole Beasley did have a down year, but I do think he could still play.
Thank you. You are the man. I appreciate you so much. All right, we're gonna go picking 5 players to build your defense. Who do you
Oh,
have?
does it have to be on the Buffalo Bills roster, or are you talking about any five
No,
players?
no, no, no. Any 5 players.
Oh, that's an excellent question. I like this. This is fun. uh so so I'm gonna go with my guy, Miles Garrett. He's one guy building my to build my defense around. Miles Garrett. I think Aaron Donald should be on everybody's 5 players of defense in
Hell
terms
yeah.
of building guys around. That's two. I would definitely go Jalen Ramsey Number three, in terms of building my defense around, I think that he got beat on certain instances in the Super Bowl and certain times throughout the season. But what cornerback doesn't? I don't think there's any Deion
Absolutely.
Sanders in the world left. I don't think there is no Darrell Revis in the world left. I think Revis was one of the better man cover corners in the NFL in his prime. So I definitely would go with
Hmm.
Jalen Ramsey. Number four, I would go with Darius Leonard from the Indianapolis Colts. I just love Darius Leonard's game. I think he's a sideline to sideline linebacker that makes impact plays. He mastered the peanut punch. He's always
Oh,
forcing fumbles
yes.
and forcing turnovers, and I think impactful plays matter. So those are four. And the fifth player, wow, who is the fifth player I would go with? I think I would go. I think I would go safety. I would probably go
Okay.
and get. I would think I'll probably go get a young player like a Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
I like that he's big and he's athletic and he's a guy that can come down in the box and play in the box as safety and make tackles. I think he's good enough to play center field. I think he could cover running backs and receivers. So Justin Simmons is a young guy, underrated guy that I will go with as my fifth player.
Okay. I'm not mad at none of those. I
Hmm.
jotted some down too. I got Xavier Howard. I
Oh,
got Miles Garrett, of course. I got Aaron Donald. I love Xavier Howard. I wish he would play for the Buffalo Bills, but
yeah, I love him too. Hey, do you remember that play when he was guarding Tyreek Hill one on one? Was it last year? And he got
it
that
was yes,
interception on Tyreek Hill.
yes.
That one play alone, I'm like,
That's that.
I'm sold.
Yep.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Give me this guy
That's
for real.
why I picked him because I was like, he's good. I mean, he's not good against you know
Yeah,
Diggs, but
yeah,
he's definitely good. I think Diggs got his number, but whatever.
yes.
I said DeForest Buckner for Indy.
Ooh, I like it.
And me Clark for Green Bay.
Green Bay. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I
All
think
the yeah.
I think Kenny Clark is an underrated player. I really like Kenny Clark
Yes.
from the Packers. Yes.
Yep.
Hey,
Uh,
excellent five. Excellent five, T.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I did some research and I do my little homework. I know
Yeah,
I
I
know a
see it.
little something.
I see it.
I know a little something. So we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna have some fun because
Yep.
it's off season. And we all know we gotta ask these questions and stuff like that. But let's switch it up, have some fun.
Mhm.
So it's quick fire. I'm gonna do some quick fire,
Mhm.
and I didn't give you my quick fire because I wanted it off the dome.
Okay. I like it.
So
I like it.
I think I got 8 questions here.
Ooh, let's do
So
it.
hot dogs, hamburgers,
Hamburgers,
okay. Ranch or blue cheese?
ranch. I love me some
Ain't
ranch.
nothing wrong with it. It's all good. It's
Yeah,
all good. Ain't
I love
nobody.
ranch.
I'm not gonna do nothing to you, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
once this comes out, it might.
Let me put it out there. I really like blue cheese, but I love ranch.
It's a Buffalo thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a Buffalo thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Flats or drumsticks?
Oh, flats all day, every day. Flats.
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. Juice or Friday?
Which one? Say the first one again. You broke up a little bit.
Juice. Juice.
Juice, juice or Friday. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, T. I'm gonna have to take the latter
Mhm.
Friday. I love Friday. I love Friday. I could watch that 100 times like I watched it the first time.
You got the juice now. Juice is my joint, though. I love
Yeah,
juice.
yeah, me too. Me too. That was a tough one. That was a
Yeah.
tough one.
I know it was. And I had to, I had to. Jordans or Adidas?
If I wore any, if I had to pick, it would be Jordans. Yes, Jordan.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, theater, movie theater or drive-in?
Ooh, I'm a. See, the older I got, the lazier I've become. So I appreciate the drive-in, but I'm gonna go back to my younger days. In my head, I'm still young, so I'm gonna go theater. I'm gonna go movie theater.
Okay.
Hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
NBA All-Star Game or the Pro Bowl?
Ooh,
They're both as trash, but yeah.
They both was trash.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go NBA All-Star game because at least it gets somewhat competitive in the fourth quarter.
Yes. Did you watch any of it this last weekend?
Yes, I did. I watched some of it. I didn't even know because it's been a couple of years since I watched the Pro Bowl, but excuse me,
Yep.
the All-Star game, and I didn't even know that they was doing some last shot wins and all that. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it still was it
I
still got competitive.
it's trash.
Yeah,
It did.
they're both
It
not
did.
bad.
The All Star game is better than the Pro Bowl, but they are
Mhm.
competitive compared to the Pro Bowl. But yeah,
Yes,
they got to do something better than that.
they gotta do something
All right,
better.
so
Yeah.
this might be. I love this because I just love people's respond to this.
Mhm.
Loyalty or respect.
Oh, these are some excellent questions. Different topics going off the wall. I love it. Um, I'm big on loyalty. I am me.
I love it. Yeah.
I am big on loyalty. I've had one barber for 15 years. Like I'm not I'm not the guy to switch up barbers. I still have Android. Everybody's been going switching to iPhone.
Oh God. Yeah.
You
I
know,
should have,
so I'm
you know what? And I should have put that on there, iPhone or Droid. I'm a Droid too. I can't do iPhone. I can't. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
understand
me
it.
neither. Me neither. Me
I'm not
neither.
an
So
old hag. I just don't do iPhone. Sorry.
yeah, so
Um.
I'm big on loyalty, so I'm gonna go loyalty.
All right. Last one for the quick fire. 2020 Bills or the 2021 team Bills.
Oh man. Another difficult, excellent question. I'm gonna go 2020 Bills because they was actually one game away from the Super Bowl as opposed to losing in the divisional round this year. And it's hard for me to pick the 2021 Bills now because of those last 13 seconds.
Yeah,
Those
it's still
last 13
sour.
seconds. It stings. It stings. And
Yeah.
I haven't watched the replay since. I don't want to watch the
Yeah.
replay. I don't want nothing to do with that game. So 2020 Bills.
I think I'm gonna have to watch it before I move on to
Mm,
the next
closure,
season, just to
closure.
get it out. Yeah,
Mhm,
absolutely. To get it
mhm,
out. Goodbye.
mhm.
See you later, and move on.
Yep, I
So
like it.
this is the last questions.
Mhm.
Amazing Race. You know that game, right? That show.
Yes.
So you have one player to pick for your to be your teammate. Who would it be?
One player to be my teammate.
Yep.
Oh, this is another excellent question, but I don't think it's as hard as the rest. I'm gonna go Josh Allen here. You know, look,
Really?
the personality of Josh Allen is
Yeah.
infectious. It's like I just want to be around the guy. He seems like a guy that's hard not to love. And I think he's a guy that
That's true.
you're willing to run through a wall for him because he will do the same for you. So I go Josh Allen here.
That's true. That's so true. All
Yep.
right. I'm not mad at that. That's some excellent
That
questions.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was great stuff. Great stuff.
Excellent answers. I'm sorry, not questions, answers.
Yeah, questions
Man,
too.
listen. I appreciate what? Oh yeah,
No,
absolutely.
mhm,
But
mhm,
yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I wasn't going to keep you long. It's a
mhm.
Saturday, you know what I'm saying, and people got stuff to do. But I always appreciate you and what you do for this brand, and I love that you came on my show, our show, my little show. So thank you for coming on. Hey, Rich. Tell everybody where they can find you. Not that they don't already
Uh,
know.
first of all, thank you for having me on your show. And I have to give you your flowers while we're here. T does an excellent job. You do an amazing job with your podcast. You do an amazing job. You and Mike consistently developing and growing your podcast in terms of actually being on air and actually promoting your stuff and you love what you do and I see it every time you do your shows. It's genuine and that's what I love
Thank you.
about you and love about your show. So once again, thank you for having me. You can find me,
Yeah.
A Rich, Akeem Richens. You can find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, under King Rich underscore 987 is where you can find me. You can find the Built in Buffalo brand. Just type in Built in Buffalo underscore, and they'll pop up on various social media platforms. And yeah, that's where you can find us. That's
Cool.
where you can find the excellent content with myself, others, and T as well. And once again, T, I really appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to drop very soon. But man, this was so great. I loved it. And thank you again for coming on. This is Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. I am your host, T, one half of Not Your Average Podcast. Um, Thank you again, Rich. This was awesome, awesome, awesome. And we drop on Sundays. We go live on
Mhm.
Thursdays at 2 o'clock on the brand on Facebook. So go check us out. We don't take ourselves too serious. We like to joke, we laugh, we break some
Mhm.
stuff down. We don't do stats because we hate them. But yeah, come over there and check us out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. Peace.
Peace.